Hello future CAs, welcome back to my channel. Your ultimate destination for cracking the CA exams with confidence and strategy. So today we are diving into something that will simplify your financial reporting preparation like never before. A study plan designed specifically for CA final financial reporting. I know that FR can seem overwhelming with its vast subject and tricky concepts. But don't worry, I have broken down the entire syllabus into chapter-wise study plan based on the section-wise weightages. We'll discuss how many hours you should dedicate to each chapter to maximize efficiency and nail the exams. So do grab a notebook and let's get started. So basically this plan is suitable for those who are studying the financial reporting subject for the first time. And the time allocated to each topic is keeping in mind that as this is practical subject, you will have to do sufficient written practice of all the practical questions given in the study material, revision test papers as well as previous year question papers as well. It is very important to do written practice for each question, especially when you are studying for the first time, so that in exam you can easily remember the relevant formats. And as the paper will be lengthy as well, if you do written practice, you can complete the paper within the stipulated time in the exams. So if you are new to my channel, I request you to subscribe and hit the bell icon below so that you can get notified whenever I post new videos. So now few points to keep in mind while studying the financial reporting subject. So as mentioned earlier, doing written practice is very important for this subject. So when you do written practice, you will be easily able to remember the different formats applicable for each type of questions and how you have to present the answers in the exam. It's very important to do written practice. Next is practicing MCQ. You can practice sufficient MCQs. Recently, the ICA has also launched the MCQ portal, which is available on the BOS Knowledge portal. So you can log in there and practice sufficient number of MCQ questions. Next point is whenever you are studying any chapter, at that time itself prepare detailed notes relating to that chapter. You can use this while revising later on. While studying first time, mark questions with difficult or tricky adjustments, so that while revising it will be easier for you. You can revise these questions first. When you study one chapter, at that time itself go through the previous year question paper and revision test papers also for questions relating to those chapters. And one more tip is when you study any chapter or concept, so after you complete studying that chapter, when you solve the questions, what you can do is link the questions to the relevant concepts that you have studied. This will help you while revising, and you will also be able to analyze as to from which concept more questions are asked. So here I have the CA Final Financial Reporting syllabus in front of me. So the syllabus largely comprises of Ind AS. So most of the chapters are based from Ind AS. And apart from that, maybe 2 or 3 chapters on other topics as well. For example, professional and ethical duty of a chartered accountant, accounting and technology. But vastly the syllabus comprises of Ind AS itself. So the first 4 chapters, these are relating to your basic concepts. This has been allocated 10 to 15% weightage. So first I recommend that you study these 4 chapters, as you will be covering your basic concepts in this. So now coming to chapter 1, Introduction to Indian Accounting Standards. So here I have a detailed study plan. So here I have the chapter number and the topic, that is some of the chapters has different units under it. And then we have the estimated duration in hours. So coming to the first chapter, Introduction to Indian Accounting Standards. So here I'll filter out chapter 1. So the estimated time to study this chapter is 4 hours. You can grab a notebook and as we go through the study plan, you can note down the estimated time and it will be easier for you to follow later on while studying. So first you can study this chapter, Introduction to Ind AS. This is your basic concept. And then you will be studying chapter 2, Conceptual Framework for Financial Reporting under Ind AS. Now let's see the estimated time for this chapter. So totally there are 9 units under this chapter and I have allocated the following duration for this. So Unit 1 and Unit 2. Unit 1 Introduction and Unit 2 Objective of General Purpose Financial Reporting. The estimated time to study these two units is 1 hour. Next is Unit 3 Qualitative Characteristics of Useful Financial Information. The estimated time is 1 hour for this. Next is Unit 4 Financial Statements and the Reporting Entity. So this will take about zero point 0.5 hours. Now coming to Unit 5, the elements of financial statements. The time allotted for this is 1 hour. Unit 6, recognition and derecognition. We have allocated 1 hour for this. Unit 7, measurement. For this chapter, 2 hours has been allocated. Unit 8, presentation and disclosure. For this, we have allocated 0 0.5 hours. Unit 9, concepts of capital and capital maintenance. The estimated duration for this is 0 0.5 hours. Now coming to chapter 3, Ind AS on presentation of items in the financial statements. So this chapter comprises of 3 units. So first is Unit 1 which relates to Ind AS 1, presentation of financial statements. The estimated duration is 7 hours for this. Then coming to Unit 2 which is pertaining to Ind AS 34, interim financial reporting. The estimated time for this is 3 hours. Next is Unit 3, Ind AS 7, statement of cash flows. The time allocated for this is 6 hours. Next we have chapter 4, Ind AS on measurement based on accounting policies. So this basically comprises of 3 units. Unit 1, Ind AS 8, accounting policies, changes in accounting estimates and errors. The estimated time for this is 5 hours. Unit 2, Ind AS 10, events after the reporting period. The estimated duration for this is 3 hours. Next is Ind AS 113, fair value measurement. The estimated duration to study this is 4 hours. So after studying these 4 chapters, next you can see if you go through the syllabus, the chapter comprising the highest weightage, that is 15% to 25%. This is chapter number 6, Ind AS on assets of the financial statements, and chapter number 8, Ind AS on liabilities of the financial statements. So once you study the basic concepts, that is chapter 1 to chapter 4, then you can study chapter number 6 and chapter number 8. So let's go and see that what all units are there under these chapters and what is the estimated time duration for those. So chapter number 6. So chapter number 6, Ind AS on the assets of the financial statements. So basically this comprises of 8 units. Unit 1, Ind AS 2, inventories. The estimated duration to study this is 4 hours. Unit 2, Ind AS 16, property, plant and equipment. The estimated study duration for this is 6 hours. Ind AS 23, borrowing costs. This is Unit 3. And the estimated time to study this is 4 hours. Now coming to Unit 4, Ind AS 36, impairment of assets. The estimated time to cover this unit is 8 hours. Next we have Unit 5, Ind AS 38, intangible assets. The estimated duration to study this is 7 hours. Next is Unit 6, Ind AS 40, Investment Property. The estimated time to study this chapter is 4 hours. Next we have Unit 7, Ind AS 105, Non-current assets held for sale and discontinued operations. The estimated time duration to study this is 4 hours. Next we have Unit 8, that is Ind AS 116 leases. This is one of the biggest chapters. So I recommend that you go through all the sums in detail for this chapter and go through all the concepts as well. The estimated time duration for this chapter is 16 hours. Next is Ind AS on liabilities of financial statements. This is chapter number 8. So there are two units in this. Unit 1, Ind AS 19, employee benefits. The estimated time is 9 hours for this. And Unit 2, Ind AS 37, provisions, contingent liability and contingent assets. The estimated time to cover this is 5 hours. So after completing these two chapters, chapter 6 and chapter 8, the next chapters with highest weightage are as follows. Chapter 7, Other Ind AS. Chapter 9, Ind AS on items impacting the financial statements. And Chapter 10, Ind AS on disclosures in financial statement. So these comprise of 15% to 20%. So let's go and see what all units are there in these chapters and the estimated time to complete the same. So chapter 7, Other Ind AS. So in this you have 3 units. Unit 1, Ind AS 41, Agriculture. The estimated duration to study this is 3 hours. Next is Unit 2, Ind AS 20, Accounting for Government Grants and Disclosure of Government Assistance. The estimated duration to study this is 3 hours. And the next one is Unit 3, Ind AS 102, Share-Based Payments. The estimated duration to study this is 7 hours. Now coming to Chapter 9. So this comprises of 2 units. Unit 1, Ind AS 12, Income Taxes. The estimated duration to study this is 9 hours. Next is Unit 2, Ind AS 21. The estimated time duration to study this is 4 hours. Now coming to Chapter 10, Ind AS on disclosures in the financial statements. Unit 1, Ind AS 24, Related Party Disclosure. The estimated duration to study this is 4 hours. Next you have Ind AS 33, Earning Per Share. The estimated duration to study this is 6 hours. Then you have Ind AS 108, Operating Segments. The estimated duration for this is 4 hours. So after completing these chapters, the next two chapters which comprises the highest weightage is Chapter 12, Ind AS 103, Business Combinations, and Chapter 13, Consolidated and Separate Financial Statement of Group Entity. This has been allotted 10% to 20% weightage. So chapter number 12. So this is also one of the biggest chapters and it will take some time to study this chapter. So the estimated time for this is 15 hours. Every day you can study for 5 hours. Like per day you can study for 5 hours this chapter and similarly you will be able to complete this in 3 days. Now coming to chapter number 13. So chapter number 13, Consolidated and Separate Financial Statement of Group Entities. This comprises of 8 units. So Unit 1, Introduction to Consolidated and Separate Financial Statements, and Unit 2, Important Definition. The time allotted for this is 0.5 hours. Next you have Unit 3, Ind AS 110, Consolidated Financial Statement. The time allotted for this is 5 hours. Next you have Unit 4, Consolidation Procedure for Subsidiaries. The estimated time allotted for this is 5 hours. Next you have Unit 5, Ind AS 111, joint arrangements. The estimated time for this is 3 hours. Next you have Unit 6, Ind AS 28, investment in associate and joint ventures. The estimated duration for this is 3 hours. Next you have Unit number 7, Ind AS 27, separate financial statements. The estimated time for this is 1 hour. Next you have Unit 8, disclosures. The estimated time for this is 1.5 hours. So now you have covered the basic concepts as well as the chapters which comprises of the highest weightage. And the next chapter you can concentrate will be chapter number 11, accounting and reporting of financial instrument. This has been allocated 10 to 15% weightage. So this consists of 7 units actually. So unit 1, financial instrument scope and definition. The estimated time for this is 2.5 hours. Unit 2, classification and measurement of financial assets and financial liabilities. The estimated time for this is 6 hours. Unit 3, financial instruments, equity and financial liability. The estimated time to study this is 3 hours. Unit 4, derivatives and embedded derivatives. The estimated time to study this is 2 hours. Next is Unit 5, recognition and derecognition of financial instruments. The estimated time for this is 3 hours. Next you have Unit 6, hedge accounting. The estimated time for this is 1 hour. Next is Unit 7, disclosures, and the time allocated for this is 1.5 hours. And then in the study material you have a section called test your knowledge and comprehensive illustrations. The estimated time for this is 3.5 hours. So after completing the chapter 11, next you can study chapter number 5. This is Ind AS 115, revenue from contracts with customers. This has been assigned a weightage of 5% to 10%. So here we have chapter 5, Ind AS 115, revenue from contracts with customers. So this is also one of the large chapters. So the time allocated for this is 15 hours. So maybe you can break down this chapter as well and study for 5 hours each day, and maybe you can complete it within 2-3 days. And next you have annexure division 2 of schedule 3 to the Companies Act 2013. The estimated time for this is 4 hours. And now you have 4 chapters left. This is comprising of less weightage. So chapter number 14, Ind AS 101, first time adaptation of Ind AS. And chapter number 15, analysis of financial statement. These two chapters comprises of 5% to 10% weightage. So chapter 14, estimated time duration is 5.5 hours. And chapter 15 also, the estimated time duration is 5.5 hours. Next you have chapter 16, professional and ethical duties of a chartered accountant. And chapter 17, accounting and technology. These chapter also comprises of weightage of 5% to 10%. So chapter 16, the estimated duration is 4 hours. And chapter 17, the estimated duration is 3.5 hours. So I hope you have noted down this in detail. You can also prepare a tracker like this either on an Excel sheet or in your notebook, and you can further add 2 more columns here. So we have the estimated duration, and you can add your status and time taken. So as you complete one chapter, you can write here completed, started, in progress. For each of the chapter, you can note down the status like this. And you can write here the time taken. So estimated time is 4 hours. Suppose you took 3 hours, you can write here. Or if you have taken more time, you can write here. This will help you track your studies. And that's a wrap on the study plan for CA Final Financial Reporting. Remember, the key to success is not just studying hard, but studying smart. Stick to the plan, keep practicing, and don't forget to revise consistently. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your CA friends who might need that extra boost. Also comment below and let me know which chapter you are planning to start with. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on more exam strategies, study tips and motivation. Until next time, stay positive and remember you are just one plan away from becoming a chartered accountant. See you all in the next video. All the best with your studies.